Hello everyone, welcome back to the last video of this marathon. It was so much fun. And before I tell you a little bit about the Druzy Coaster Duo Mold, I will tell you a little bit about my pour. So I want to do a flower or two flowers, and I want to make the web effect in the background. So I'm just mixing here some resin. I'm using for my flowers the Mastercast resin, and now I have the Sweet Cherry and resin ink from Octopus, which I pour in a little bit of resin, and I also have the Magnolia Shimmer from LaurasArtCorner. And I think it will add even more sparkle to the Druzy edges from MoldsandShapes, but you will see it at the end result, because I was really amazed how this worked together. It was really nice. You see, I'm adding even a little bit more, and I hope it's gonna work. At that point, I was hoping it's gonna work. So I'm stirring up my resin very well, and then you see me mixing my white afterwards, where I'm using the white pigment drops and some of the interference pearl from the interference champagne, I'm sorry, the interference champagne from Etta Art. So, but while I'm mixing this, I can tell you a little bit about this mold. It's the Druzy Coaster Duo Mold from MoldsandShapes. The rim, the Druzy rim, is 8 mm deep. You have a 9 mm deep depth where the center plateau is. I call it a plateau. I don't know how to call it. In total, it's 1.7 centimeters deep. And the inner space where you can pour, where the plateau is 10 millimeter in diagonal, and the overall size is 13.5 centimeters. So I'm talking in centimeters and millimeters. I hope, yeah, I will link this mold anyway in my description box, and you can really read it up. So much information. Anyway, I'm now taking my resin and I'm pouring along the Druzy edge, just till the rim of the plateau bit. I don't know if you really can call it a plateau. I just call it like this, so please have mercy with me. And I'm doing the same for the second one. And by the way, I love the idea about a coaster duo mold with the Druzys. I really love it. So I just take my time and I'm pouring from rather up high, because Mastercast resin is of course a thick resin, and with the Druzy edges I'm afraid to get holes in the Druzy bits, but I think I didn't discover some. Maybe there are some and I didn't see them, but this is something for the final result. Anyway, I'm filling up my mold, and you see I'm putting quite a lot of clear resin. At the end, I have only maybe 2 millimeters space to make my web effect for the background. So you really see it's rather full for doing an effect. But I want the flowers to get really depth, and yeah, fingers crossed it's gonna work. I just use the heat gun very carefully to pop some bubbles. When you use the heat gun or the torch, please always be careful. Now I'm dropping the Sweet Cherry again into my mold. So I'm using the same color because I wanted to use something with red, because red is not being used so much. I don't know why, but I think red is such an awesome color, and it's also nice for summer, and yeah, it has so much strength, and I thought, just go for it. And yeah, you saw me doing my pattern in this first coaster, and now I'm just making a ziggy-zaggy spiral because I want the flowers to be a little bit more, not too divine, you know what I mean? Just to have them a little bit more, I don't know how to call this. Yeah, more natural, if you know what I mean. So now I'm doing the same here with the resin ink again with the sweet cherry, but this time I'm only swirling it a little bit. And then I had the idea, I just make a normal spiral and try to get a rose. But you will see, I think I didn't do it quite well, but I started here from the outside to the inside with my spiral, which I normally also don't do, or which I haven't done for quite a long time. And yeah, I need to see how it's going to turn out. But now with my first one, I waited a little bit before I started designing my flower, and I'm just dragging my dotting tool from the outside to the inside just 8 times, and then it gets a swirl in the center, and that's it, not more. And of course, I'm always nervous with the 3D blooms. Sometimes they are blobby, sometimes not. Sometimes they are good blobs, sometimes they are the bad blobs. So yeah, it all happens. And now I do my second flower, and I should have just stayed with this design, you know, and then I thought I just swirl it all over. And well, I don't know if it wasn't a good idea, if I should have done this, but I had the idea, try to do a rose. And yeah, I did it there, and now I just need to let my resin do whatever it needs to do. And here's the close-up, and it's maybe 5 or 10 minutes after I was pouring. With the first one here, so far I'm very happy. And you can see a little bit of the sweet cherry pulling towards the center. Do you see it? And with this one, it's even more pulling towards the center. It's more red. And at that point, I was not really happy with what I've done to the center. I should have just made a normal flower. But sometimes it just happens and you want to do something else, but you don't know what to expect. So this is the next day, and I can take care for my background. And you can see I really don't have much space. And I'm just making a rim with my white. I mixed the white very opaque. I think I have here not even half of a little cup with white resin. I used, I think, 10 or 15 drops, 15 I think, 15 drops of the pigment drops from Etta Art in white. And now I'm just filling up my mold. Here I'm using the ultra cast resin because it has a longer working time. And for the second coaster, I'm doing exactly the same. And like I said before, it really, the red from the sweet cherry made its striations, and it's on one side quite red. So I'm very curious how this is gonna work. Anyway, I've done my pour, and now you have the close-up, and you can see how nicely everything is pulling towards the center. And what you can also see, that the white is not just stuck at the edges. And this is something I really liked. It doesn't happen always to me, but there you see it. It just made very delicate striations, a very delicate web effect. And this is what I like. It still moved when I did this part of the video, but I needed to stop my time lapse before because I needed my phone. And that's the thing when you are filming with your cell phone and you really need it. So another 24 hours I can demold. I'm so curious. And here again, I need to be sorry because I wanted to let you hear the noise, because so awesome to unmold, to demold such Druzy coasters. But my boyfriend came in from a cycling tour and he was all blah, 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 blah. So I could not do it. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's have a look for the first one. I'm very curious, and look at this. I'm so happy with this pour. This is really my, out of the two, I can already say this, it's my favorite, and I really like it. And look at the web effect in the background. It's so nicely pulled towards the center, even though it didn't have space. And now my second coaster, and well, if I would have left it as a normal flower, I think it would have turned out amazing. But I'm not sure if I like what I did there. But the web effect is amazing. And of course, the Druzys are amazing. I really love these coasters. And this is my first one. And do you see the sparkle? You see the sparkle of the Druzy effect plus the Magnolia Shimmer. And this is awesome. It's so shiny and I really adore it. Forget about my pour there. You will see the second pour where I'm really happy with. And with the happiness, I love and leave you. I thank you for watching. And guys, please take a look at all the videos of this marathon because it's really worth it. There's a playlist in my description. Everyone has a playlist and yeah, it's amazing. Thank you, Molds and Shapes. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.